Great thing we just spoke about therapy. Other news we're sharing with you this morning, a video has made its way online which shows the bravery of a young girl protecting her mother from her father's assault threat. And here is what was that?
I would rather beat you.
Beat me!
Because all this one you are just doing as if
You've been beating us. Beat me! Beat me! If that's what it will take you to wound us, beat me!
Hey, they don't know how to run the fan.
You say what?
Daddy beat me. Mommy, Mommy, leave it. Mommy, leave it. I know what I'm telling you. Leave it. Leave the belt. Every belt now. Mommy, leave the belt.
Leave it.
Leave the belt. Nah, I'm not. Leave the belt. Daddy, I'm your daughter. If you want to beat me, it is to beat me.
Look.
For you to get to my mom and do whatever you want to do.
See,
you can wound me. I don't have a problem with that.
Shut your mouth.
But you cannot say you send my own mother to grave from my own father's mouth.
Now, pause. There is limit to every woman.
For a lot of people, many people actually couldn't go through, the whole extent of that video because of how traumatic it is. A lot of people, grew up in an environment like that, and I can't even imagine, what that feels like. It's so traumatic.
Now, the sad part about this is the fact that there are several layers to the trauma that these children in this family have to face. One is the fact that they're watching their parents fight so much. They're growing up in an environment of toxicity where they're being taught that violence is normal. There's also another layer. For the girls, watching your father beat your mom is in a way teaching you how you expect to be treated in a marriage. So it's why you find a lot of women in abusive marriages unable to leave, because that is what they grew up to see love is, love as. And then we see the men, for the sons, they are taught that for you to show authority as a man in the house, you beat your wife. So they grow up beating their wives as well. It's just so many layers. And then we see Stockholm Syndrome, where you then start to have compassion for your accuser, compassion for your captor.
But I like that she's fighting back. I think she also has shown that she knows better. She knows, that this is completely wrong and she's tired of it. So two things that you learn in an abusive environment: either you learn that this is normal or you learn that it's completely abnormal. It's one of them, and you grow up, and eventually take whatever you learn from that, abusive environment, or toxic environment. But once, like you said, there's so much that needs to be unpacked out of that. It is traumatic, and I'm sure that a lot of people who watch that, who grew up in an environment like that, who feel sick to their stomachs, seeing that. But luckily for me, I never. I've continued to say that my parents are like a perfect example of what marriage should be like, and I've always said it. I never saw anything that seemed in any way toxic in the marriage that they've had for more than 40 years. But I can imagine anybody who grew up and who has to deal with that every day. It's too painful.
Too painful to put it even mildly. And I'm hoping that if anyone is watching this and is in a physically abusive marriage, physically or emotionally, you get help. Some of them, we talk to them and they share the reasons why they're unable to leave. If you're not able to leave now, do plan to leave and get help. For example, here in Lagos State, there's a domestic and sexual violence response team. So if you're being abused, please reach out to them.